Hello.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Joshua Edwards. I am your host of the Shop Talk 20 podcast, and I'm feeling some good vibes today. I think it's a good day. You know, the sun's starting to come out, and I'm really excited because I have a special guest with us today, and she's for some of you that already know her. You know, you typically see her behind the camera, but she's out in full force today. Superwoman, and welcome Janine Lee to the show.
Thank you, Josh, for welcoming me to Shop Talk 20. I'm pretty excited to be on the show.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in because I want people, and I'm asking these questions selfishly, but also so that the audience can kind of get to know you better as well. Always looking to provide value and context. So maybe genuinely, what we'll start is getting context around, where are you from? What do you do? And where are you, what are you up to currently? Why don't we start there?
Um, well, my husband and I moved here recently, 3 years ago from Alberta. I would like to say I'm from Alberta, but I'm not. I'm from London, Ontario, but I left there and became an Albertan. And now I'm back home in Ontario with my spouse. I was doing mechanics and medical industry for a while. I got kind of bored and tired of doing that. And I feel like I wasn't being satisfied in my work. So I decided to make a little bit of a change, and my husband bought me a camera. And I went through all these boxes, and here's my beautiful little Hugo is his name, my camera. And I decided to get started on photography. I've been taking pictures my whole life since I was small with little Polaroid camera in the 90s. And I just wanted to show everybody what I can do with my camera and what my skill set is on a professional level. So I decided to start my photography business. And when I started it, I got reached out by a few models, a couple families for some photos that went really well. And then I was given the opportunity to do a fundraiser with the Forces for United Way. I volunteered for that, did a couple charities for them. And then things really started taking off, and poof, here I am with multiple business collaborations within the community, welcoming you as well, and Tea Time Crafts and a few other businesses around the area and persons. What I'm doing now mostly is trying to get the community together by providing my business service and advertising other businesses around the area through my media and my business, while giving other discounts exclusively that everybody has to offer me that I can share with my clients and they can share with their friends and family as well.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I appreciate you sharing it. And this is quite interesting because I actually want to go here in the conversation, which is around something you had said, which was around, collaborations. You have multiple collaborations within the community. What does collaboration, like when we say the word collaboration and we think about business and we think about, building our brand, like what does that mean to you, and what does that spark in you when you think of the word collaboration, and then what that means, in relation to what it is that you're building, because you're building a business. So, kind of give me context on that. I'd love to hear.
So while I'm collaborating with other businesses and persons, it's based off of kind of what they're doing. And I just apply how I photograph it. And that's kind of the context of that. But when I'm collaborating with other people, I like to get to know exactly what their business is, exactly what their brand is, who they are as people. And then I can apply that to how I'm taking their photographs and how I make the designs of the advertisement that I add with that as well. I like to engage with my collaborators, invite them in on sessions. So example, if you create art, I can bring that into other photo sessions that I do and tag you in and so on and so forth. If you offer me little coupon sharing that I offer with other people, if they join on board, I link into each gallery of my clients little coupons for them for other businesses within the community. I'm kind of in the works of still building this up. So I haven't really gotten a full structure on exactly what I'm doing because I'm trying to manage it around more so what people need and what they want rather than what I need and want. Because what I need and want is what they need and want. And that's what makes me feel fulfilled, is fulfilling their needs and wants. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, is
Wow.
feeling fulfilled for other people.
Wow. That so you look at from the collaboration perspective, and correct me on this because I don't want to quote you wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
In a collaboration, you are more interested in what the individual that you're working with gets out of it than what you're getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that mindset come from?
um I don't know. I love people. I love
Ooh, girl.
people. I love life and I love living. And I feel like that's very important for me to apply to my business. For some people, it's about the money. For me, it's about the people. I don't need the money. I want it, of course, but I don't need it necessarily. What I'm looking for is making people happy. I want to see their smile at the end of the day. And not all collaborations are built around my business packages. I love to reach out and be reached out for free collaborations. I want to be involved in the community and have people involved with me within the community and volunteering around as well with other things that I learn about within the community. So collaborating to me is just working together as a team, as one united force of everybody.
Beautiful, beautiful. You said something that really stuck out to me, and it's something I relate to deeply. Is you love people, and
Mm-hmm.
if that's a root in that kind of brings up the action of these collaborations, that's an incredible root, because I actually stem from the same place when I think about collaborations, working with people, you know
Mm-hmm.
just wanting to help, just wanting to to put positive energy into the world. So and by the way, from watching from afar, I'm seeing you do that, and it
Thank you.
certainly comes out in the work and what you're up to. Tell me a little bit, because like I find that like collaboration, and actually I'll go here because just I'm really curious now around. So like you're in the photography industry,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously like there are other photographers in the Quinny area. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever done a collaboration with another photographer?
Yeah, I have. I've done another collaboration with Focus Photography and B. She was really fun. That was a really fun little beach session. We got all dressed up in fancy gear and we took pictures of each other actually, and it was quite fun. I've collaborated with a videographer that's local to here through AB Creates. He's wonderful to work with as well. Um, I haven't had a chance to collaborate with more, but I am open to. I would love to do a big planned shoot of something extravagant. That would be wonderful.
I love this. I love this. And the reason why I'm going here with this question is because like that's typically where the buck will stop with many people. Like many people will say, yeah, I want to collaborate. But as soon as it's somebody in their own industry, heck no, it ain't happening. No. We don't talk to them. We don't get over. So where does that come from? Because there's a lot of people that don't think that way, don't even want to, that's a threat to them and their business. Why is it so easy for you to say, Oh yeah, I work with that person, and they're in the
I
same
guess
industry as me.
um, I'm rooting for the success of everyone. My mentor is actually a photographer as well. And she started close to around the time that I did, actually. She's from the States, and she decided to give me lots of advice and help me throughout the industry. And that kind of motivated me with how I treat other people,
Mm,
because I'm a photographer too. And even though we're not in the same country, that we are able to like bounce back off of each other and motivate each other, give each other advice, editing tips, so on and so forth, lots of exchange of information. And that showed me that not everybody is a threat, and not everybody wants to be there to tear down your business. And I kind of wanted to apply that in the same way of how I run my business. I don't want to make other people less successful or tear down their business and consider myself better, because I'm not. I'm just a person and they're just a person. And we're both trying to get by, all of us. So, I mean, I feel like we all work better and stronger together. That's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to me, is teamwork.
wow, that's incredible insight. Um, and so cool that you had that experience with that person in the same industry, and how they took the time out, and now you're paying it forward. That's really cool. I want to switch gears a little bit, because we're living in crazy times, clearly, and
Mm-hmm.
lots of different restrictions. We're currently in a state of emergency right here in Ontario. How what's the impact been for you? And you can answer, you can choose whatever route you want to answer contextually. It could be from a mental health perspective. It could be from a business perspective. However you feel you want to answer, please feel free. I'm curious.
I'll answer all the above. For work wise, I started in the pandemic. So I don't really know how well I'm going to be when the pandemic is over, but I've been flourishing throughout the pandemic. So I don't really think the pandemic work wise has affected me much. It's been maybe less bookings probably than what would normally come, but I don't know because I have nothing to compare to statistically that way. Home life, having kids home all the time is a little bit challenging, but it's nice actually. And I get to know what they're up to and listen in on how they chit chat with their friends, and you get to learn little pieces of their personality you don't know. So there's that little blessing there. And my husband, on and off with work, so I get more time with him. So that's been nice. And the pandemic hasn't really affected us, my household, that much. We're homebodies. We hang out together and do stuff every day together. So it doesn't really change anything, as the outdoors are still open to a degree. So
Hmm.
just enjoy the outdoors. Um, I feel it. I feel like hard for the people who have been affected by the pandemic, though. But on my end, no, no sadness here.
I really do appreciate you sharing that, and having the, I don't even know if brave is the right word. Like, it's such a sensitive topic around, how are you doing? And,
Mm-hmm.
I've had other conversations where, sometimes people feel bad for saying that they're doing fine, they're doing fairly well, because they just don't know what somebody else next to them is going through. But
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a side where people also need to hear that, hey, there are people out there that are navigating this, as well as they can, and it's, they're still healthy, whether it's mentally, physically, all the rest, and being able to navigate in a way where they're not losing too much of themselves, and what is normal to them. So I do appreciate you sharing that, and that's nice to hear, and I'm really really glad that that's the scenario that you find yourself in.
Mm. Um, it gets rocky sometimes. Sometimes you want to go out, and I want to go shopping. I have a little bit of a shopping craze and I can't physically go shop. Online shopping doesn't cut it for me. That's my biggest dilemma about the pandemic is online shopping. um, but there has been lots of people who's been affected actually really hard, in and out of work. Some family members of mine being some of them, and I feel hard for the ones who are really really affected. And a lot of the closure stuff can be hard, especially on mental health.
Mm,
Um, I have some mental illnesses myself, so I can relate to isolation being a lot and hard to control, especially when you don't have a solid support network. So, with that being said, if anybody's ever feeling alone or like they don't have a support network through this pandemic time, they are more than welcome to reach out to me, because I am more than happy to give a little smile to somebody who needs it. So that's a that's a big thing to go through, being on your own.
absolutely, absolutely. That's great, Jen. I appreciate you sharing that. And for any of the users, like any of the audience that'll be listening to this, definitely check out Jen and Lee's page. We'll share that information closer to the end of the episode. If you want to reach out to her, that's great that you're offering that. And I'll ask this question because I love this. It's a question around dreams, and because every entrepreneurship, any entrepreneur, like they have a why when they get into this. And you know if we can think kind of future and forward, I know you mentioned that you're not exactly sure what your plans are, but in your heart of hearts, if there's something that that you desire, as far as you know as you see this business continue, is there anything that kind of pops up in your mind, as far as I would love to one day be able to do this, or get here, or achieve this, anything that stands out?
So my biggest goal is I would like to build a network community of multiple different businesses, working together, exchanging exclusive deals like between each other for our clients, for each one of our for all of our services. Because I feel like giving back to the community is really essential, and that's like number one customer thing to me is you got to give them something. And by giving back to your community, not only does it grow the community that is already in growth, um, but it brings on more people and brings more people together. And when you're collaborating together with multiple different businesses, in my opinion, you can be unstoppable. You can just keep bringing everybody in together and more together. And that's my biggest goal, is bringing people together. So how far I take that, I don't know, but my dreams are to take that as far as I can take it.
That's beautiful. And by the way, just so I have context, like is it a scenario where like there's like no money changes hands, like it's literally just like you do this service, I do this service, like that type of thing?
Mhm. No exchange, no monies, no nothing. For
Bartering. Talk about it.
It's just exclusive deals between everybody that we give to our customers for everybody.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
Me too.
No, that's
I
sorry,
I'm a
go ahead.
consumer. I'm a big shopper. So when I go into stores and they have like their buy one get one, that's awesome. But I felt like, from a buying standpoint, what if you go somewhere and you leave with a sheet full of deals for a bunch of places? That's awesome. And so I wanted to kind of apply that into my business in some way. And that's what I've been working towards, is trying to build everybody together and bring on deals for everybody to share. So
That's
That's
beautiful. I like that. I like the concept. And I'm almost like brainstorming as you're thinking about it. Like it's almost like, so it's like this is what I bring to the table. So if I get that like sheet of deals or whatever, maybe it's like a site or something that you can go on and then like just submit like, hey, this is the thing that I bring to the table. And then, those 25, 30 other businesses get that information. And then it's pretty much like if that's something that works for them, then they can choose to respond and then you work together. Woo.
exactly. And they get in with the deals as well, and the customers get in, all the businesses are in, everybody's all in together. But
I like
the biggest best part is the clients and customers get the best part of it.
I like that. I like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'll ask this, and like, and this is, you know, I want to kind of frame this in a way where, because I love where the energy of this conversation. I love where, what we're talking about like, like you really seem to put people ahead of yourself,
Mhm.
and you're always looking, at the interest of the person that you're working with. What advice would you give to somebody that doesn't have that mindset? They're kind of a me first. I need to take care of me before you. I mean, I know that there's some truth to that from a mental health and all of that perspective, but
Yes, there's definitely.
but what would you say to that person that's kind of has more of the, what am I getting out of it mentality? What advice would you give to somebody that's kind of wanting to get out of that, but that's where they kind of default?
um, I say find joy and love and happiness in the way somebody else smiles for what you do for them over how you want you to feel. I actually got told yesterday from my sister that I think this applies. You go to a t-shirt and you buy a shirt and you wear the shirt because of the price tag. Well, why don't you buy the t-shirt and wear it because you like it?
Mm,
And that statement stands out a lot more to me than price tags. And I feel a lot of it comes down to when it comes down to putting you first on the business forefront, which I know like I that's very important on a lot of other aspects. Um, it's not about the money for me. So it's about people. And I feel like the greatest part to entrepreneurship is finding happiness in people and other people.
that's beautiful. Actually, if I can say this, I think that was one of the biggest benefits of me buying a business instead of starting one from scratch for me. And
Mhm.
the reason I say that is because I bought a system that that was already making money. So I actually didn't have to I didn't have to worry about that part of it. It was more so like
Mhm.
how do I come in and make things better, finesse the system, that type of thing. But then I didn't have to worry about, because I went all in on this. Like they're entrepreneurs, like, they have another
Mhm.
job and they work on their side thing. And I applaud that as well. And I actually encourage people to do that. Keep the steady income, work on your thing on the side,
Mhm.
don't sacrifice your dream. So for me, I went all in on this. So it actually it worked in the sense that it was already something that was generating income, not only just for myself, but for the business and for my team. And then all I had then that kind of gave me the freedom and flexibility to say, okay, I'm not even watching that. I'm not even watching the bank account. Let me just focus on how do we make the experience better for our customers, for our team, etc., etc. And because I think the freedom to be able to focus on that is beautiful. Like you can tell when you're in a meeting with somebody trying to get the sale and they are super, super motivated by the money they'll get if they
Mhm.
close the deal. Versus somebody that's just, and what I like to call an assistant buyer, where it's like, you already wanted what I have. I'm just telling you what route to go. so that it works out best for you and what you're looking for. So I totally, totally resonate with what you said there on that.
Thanks. Oh no, my thing is bugging. Oh, there we go. I just really enjoy everything that I do related to photography. I feel like it's really rewarding to be able to bring people in and capture their smiles and capture their moments and memories. Even aside from doing business and branding advertising stuff with families and the kids, and it's just really rewarding at the end of the day to step outside of myself and tap into the emotion and energy that I'm feeling from my clients. And that's, to the end of the day, that's what I feel like is the most rewarding. And it's not even about the taking the pictures too. It's what's going on on the other side of my camera that I'm finding enjoyment in.
Kind of speaks to that saying, you know, people don't remember what they did, what you did for them. They don't remember, you know, what you said to them, but they do remember how you made them feel.
100%. I agree.
Love it. Love it.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, we're having some lag. We're having lag.
Okay. Well, I'll end with this. Shannon Lee, let people know where they can get to know more about you. You know, your website, your Instagram pages. Where can people go to find out more about what you're up to, connect with you? You mentioned the mental health. Where can people find you?
People can find me on my website, jlmorganphotography.com. They can find me on Instagram at jlmorganphotography, and on Facebook at jlmorganphotography. Those are my three medias that I'm on currently. If you want me to get into being more out there and online, send me a message with some apps. I might consider it. You got to bribe me though.
Awesome. Shannon Lee, it's been an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to chat with you today. Really, really appreciate just your heart and energy around, you know, being a woman of the people. I like it. I like it. And your work speaks for itself. You do a terrific job with that as well. So I just want to say thank you, and really, really enjoyed the time spent today.
Thanks. And same with you, Josh. I really like what you're doing with Shop Talk 20. This is really awesome. I love all the knowledge and information that I get from watching all these videos. It definitely helps me while I'm growing as an entrepreneur. I'm still a little fish. And thanks for having me on the show.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. You take care.
Peace, love, and prosper.
Hey, I like it. I like it.